Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, do I have a good video today for you guys to all look at and view? My God, the stuff with Director X is just absolutely insane, and it keeps getting better and better. And you know what? It's all going to come to a culmination this Saturday when Director X supposedly is coming on my show, Saturday Night Hypnosis at 8 p.m. Eastern every Saturday, including this Saturday. So if you want to see that and you're watching this video, don't miss it. Make sure you guys are on my channel, 8 p.m. Eastern this Saturday. But that's neither here nor there. Apparently, Director X went on this gentleman's live show. I don't know what Real Toronto podcast. Never heard of it before. Never seen it. Quite interesting, honestly. Just looking at this still shot here. But apparently, he went on this guy's podcast and completely called out multiple YouTubers, most of which are in the G&G crew, and as versus Heel, and Heels versus Babyface as over there as well, and Neurotic and all these guys. I mean, he called out a ton of people because he called out the people that he really wants to be on their show. He really wants to be on these bigger YouTube channels for whatever reason, and we'll talk about that later in the video. But let's go over this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, consider giving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm shadow banned as hell, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. Just a quick shout out to Stephanie, My Nerdy Home. She posted this on Twitter. I reposted this, and this is how I got to see this video. So let's play this clip because it's quite interesting. Let's go.
So I'm watching this one video. This guy Az, Heels versus Babyface, and I subscribe to you. So Az goes, the opening scenes in a construction site with shaky cam. Shaky cam, he means handheld.
Yeah.
And I know what shaky, and you know what shaky cam is. Shaky cam's like when they're doing a fight scene and you can barely see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Handheld is not shaky cam. But they have to hate everything. Everything has to be horrible for them. So even the fact that they're shooting a music video on a construction site, what the fuck is weird about that? It's handheld. What is weird? What? And they're laughing. And they're all like this. You're all like this. So let me talk to the ones that are actually normal guys. You look goofy.
That's great. I like that at the moment that he says you look goofy, right? For your opinions on his show. The moment he says that you look goofy, the camera pans to a guy wearing all black, wearing a disco ball in his face. And you're trying to call other people on YouTube goofy when you're literally doing a podcast with a dude who's wearing a disco ball in his face. Now, don't get me wrong. I've worn my costume in the past, live action, and even I wouldn't call someone goofy for that shit. But you literally, this is on the nose irony right here. I thought that was pretty funny.
They laugh at every line. They laugh at everything. No matter what happens, they laugh, and you look goofy because you know it's fake. It looks fake. You're being fake. You look goofy. You look stupid. Every line.
Why do they keep panning to this guy every time he says looking goofy and stupid? Whoever the cameraman for this podcast has it out for the actual host of the podcast, because my God, that is pretty funny. Just to cover what he said really quick. So apparently, thinking that the action shots that he has put in his show, well, they're not really action shots, actually. What it is that a lot of people are complaining about, and myself included, is that you can have a scene where Robyn Loxley is literally just walking out of a building down a ramp, and instead of it being just a nice, smooth shot where you can appreciate the tone of the shot, no, you're getting this handheld vision where it's just so shaky that I don't understand why you're doing that. Like, why are you doing a handheld shaky shot for a scene that has zero action in it whatsoever? There is no need to have any sort of shaky shot there, and yet he's getting mad that he's getting criticized for it. And you can tell that Director X's feelings are a little bit hurt personally here, because when someone has this kind of body language and they're like, ha ha, and they're screaming and trying to make everything so utterly dramatic, well, it's because he's actually hurt. He's actually taken all this criticism personally, and he's considering it an attack against himself.
There's a line where the mother says, you came in late last night. Everything all right? There's some condoms in the cookie jar. Don't want you catching nothing. What a whore! She's a whore like her mom. What? That's laugh out loud funny that the mother acknowledges that her kid might get pregnant or get something. That's funny. Because where I'm sitting, I don't hear that kind of talk on TV. I think that's actually something positive to tell young people, hey man, be careful. You know what I'm saying? It's not just pregnancy. Be careful.
Yep.
She said condoms. You sound crazy. You sound crazy. Would you really do that around me? Would you really do that around like us?
Yeah.
Would you really? That's how you behave around us? Really? If we were all out drinking, that's how you carry on? You know you wouldn't. But this is how. But they're in their own little silo doing all this stuff.
So just right off the bat, yes, I'm sure a lot of them would carry themselves like that. Yes, a lot of them would still call Robyn Loxley a bit of a whore, considering that she is just banging everybody in this TV show. She's starting off with a guy that just came back from the army that she saw for like 2 days and banged him. And then, of course, she has her love interest, the lawyer, who she's probably going to bang in the 3rd or 4th episode. So, yeah, she's getting around pretty easily. And the funny thing is I understand your point of view where you're trying to say, oh, you know, the parents like, hey, be safe, whatever the case may be. But the thing is, like, the mom is not even trying to actively try to dissuade her daughter from doing this. Like, she's just like, hey, I know you're gonna sleep around, you're a bit of a whore, so make sure you go take a condom. I see, you know, we loaded the condom jar for you because in this household everybody fucks essentially, and nobody's told like, hey, maybe you should wait a little bit before you make that kind of decision. Now, don't get me wrong, Robyn in this TV show, I'm assuming, is in her low 20s from the looks of it. You know, she's not a teenager like her sister is in the show, but even the sister seems to be encouraged and laughing about it, considering that the condom jar is the household thing, right? The condom jar is a household thing. It's not just a Robyn Loxley thing. It's a household thing. So you have a 15, 16-year-old girl who's being encouraged by her sister to just grab a condom and have at it. As long as you're safe, it's all good. Who cares if you're a bit of a whore? You know what I mean? That's the thing that people are laughing at. Nobody's laughing at the fact that she's trying to say, hey, practice safe sex. Yes, of course, that is a good thing. Yes, of course, you should not try to get pregnant when you're so young. Of course, people know that. But the funny thing is that, again, it's a household thing. So clearly, this mindset is trickling down all the way down to the youngest women in that house. And that's the thing people have a problem.
And think that, you know what I mean? And I'm just looking at it like, yo, bro. Like, I'm really holding back, like, bro, what do you, yo, bro, this is how you carry on?
Mm-hmm.
This is how you carry on. Now we're getting into like, I'm questioning your manhood. I'm questioning a lot about you.
You know, he does this manhood thing, bro, and it's so annoying, man. How is your manhood tied to criticisms within a TV show? Like, bro, you can be a man and you can still actively partake in entertainment. You realize that you're questioning the manhood of the people that you're trying to sell your show to, right? So these people, they have an issue with your show, and because they have an issue with your show and they're saying certain things about your show, certain lines, how it's shot, whatever, now you're questioning their manhood. These are the same people that you tried to actively sell your show to. It may not have been that you targeted these specific people, but you're realizing that you're selling this to people in general. So all kinds of people watch TV and movies, all kinds of people. You got the scrawniest of the scrawniest dudes watching TV and movies, and you have some of the most muscular, biggest, strongest dudes watching the same exact television and movies. So of course you're going to have varying opinions, but what does their manhood have to do with anything? You are using that as a cop-out. You're trying to say, oh, you're not man enough to let it go or just move on or whatever the case may be. No, you got to criticize. You're tying manhood to criticism, and that doesn't make any sense, bro. Like you jumped into the TV realm. That's your problem. You're used to music videos. You're used to that realm of doing videos and whatnot. You're used to that. You're not used to TV shows and movies where you actually get critiqued. There's a reason why there are professional critics for movies and professional critics for TV, even though they're not professional anymore. They're pretty much bought off. But the point is, there's professional for that, but there's no professional music video reviewers. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason why that's a thing. So again, you stepped into this realm. You need to get used to critique. Otherwise, you're not going to last very long here.
Who you are. Because you're acting like a fucking goof.
Yeah, man. Haters are always going to hate. You can't really like please everyone. This is what it is. Even with this podcast, still people writing hate comments. Oh, why are you wearing that mask? Oh, why?
Just a quick note, this guy definitely sounds Hispanic. I don't know if I'm accurate, but he definitely sounds Hispanic.
Why are you interrupting this person? Oh, you could do this better. You could do that better. You could have mixed this better. I'm just like, that is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, you can't regard it. But then if someone were to come at you with a real following, I mean, some of these guys got 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Some of these guys got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Those guys, then you should actually say something back.
Yeah.
All right, then let's have a conversation.
You see, so this all comes down to the clout chase at the end of the day. He's essentially saying that all the haters who don't have at least a couple 100,000 subscribers to 1 million subscribers, those are the ones you need to ignore. But the ones that have a couple 100,000 to 1 million, no, you need to say something back to them. You need to say, hey, let me on your show and let's have a conversation. Because again, it's a clout chase at the end of the day. He knows that if he goes on their show, that he's going to get some clout from it. You know, it may not be positive, but he's going to get something from it. Whereas if he goes on a smaller show, he's got too much to lose basically. So he's trying to gain as much as he can from it, and I get it. I understand. Hey, listen, chase it. You know what I mean? Grift as much as you want. It's fine. We all do it. But again, I just find it hilarious that you're questioning the manhood of these people, and then in the same breath, you're trying to say, hey, let me on your show to have a conversation. We know it's not going to be a conversation. We know it's going to be something where it's going to be ideological battles, and they're not going to be very pretty. But hey, it's all good at the end of
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. For any of y'all, heels versus babyface, neurotic, Dispura, critical drinker, what's my guy, the executive guy from CBC, Chapman or whatever your name is. Who else is there? Ryan, Mr. H Reviews. Any of y'all, I will come on your show. I'll come on your group chat. I'll come on your show. You gonna bring me on your show? Have a real, not turn off the camera in the middle, yell at me and turn it off and laugh. Like a full-on conversation all the way to the end. We say goodbye to one another. I'll come on any one of y'all show. You can do it together. You can do it one by one. Any one of y'all.
And that's it for the end of this clip, ladies and gentlemen. So again, he's saying that he's willing to come on people's show. It could be multiple people. It could be one-on-one. And he specifically stated, okay, the one thing I will say is that he specifically stated that it's not about, oh, just saying certain things, turning off the camera and running away, essentially. That should go for him, too. So if he's going to go on people's show, he shouldn't just go on the show, call people racist and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the whole point of this. So if he does that to anybody's show, then that basically calls him out for what he is, you know? So that's why I think if he's really going to stand by that, then we should extend the olive branch and have a discussion and see exactly what's in his mind. You know, as someone who's in the mainstream, who's actively in the mainstream, like Director X is, even though it's Canada, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily Hollywood, but it's still mainstream at the end of the day. For someone who's engrossed in that life, it would be interesting, if it was in good faith, of course, which I don't think it will be, but if it was, it would be interesting to see his point of view and get a conversation going and see exactly what's happening. So hopefully we can accomplish that this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday Night Hypnosis, but time will tell whether or not that actually happens. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.